In the 14th century, an uninvited visitor arrived in Europe, the bubonic plague. Arriving first in port cities like Venice, locals noticed that outbreaks occurred when travelers disembarked and entered the city. To stop the spread, new laws were passed, requiring ships to remain in the harbor for 40 days before passengers could set foot on land, hoping that the virus would die out before then. In Italian, this new process was simply called the 40 days quarantino. It's not known entirely why the number 40 was chosen, but being a part of Christendom, many suggest that it was religiously motivated. Besides just being a long period of time, it's a biblical number that symbolizes a period of purification, trial, and probation. The Israelites spent 40 years in the desert before they could enter the Promised Land. Jesus spent 40 days away from civilization before he began his ministry. And now many of us are spending our Lent, our quadragesima, literally 40 days of purification and trial, just as they did, isolating ourselves not only from evil spirits and sin, but contagions and sickness as well. Unfortunately, most of us have no idea what we're doing. Despite the obvious religious inspiration for a quarantine, despite our spiritual practice of Lent each year, this reality of staying at home in isolation is completely new to us. We have no idea what to do. Obviously new to this myself and struggling to find my own way, I don't claim to be an expert, but I do want to offer 5 recommendations that I've found helpful, things that will hopefully keep you sane, safe, and spiritually nourished. Number 1, get back to work. For the first 5 days or so of the quarantine, we got some much needed rest. We binge watched all of our favorite shows, walked around our house in sweatpants, and ate whenever we wanted. Or so I'm told. Yes, for many, the shelter-in-place order started like a vacation, the sort of lack of responsibility and freedom to relax that we've claimed we've always wanted, a dream come true. But like all dreams, this one is quickly coming to an end. As great as it is to relax or spend all day with family, many have quickly come to realize that such a life is sorely unfulfilling. How quickly we become bored. How quickly we become restless, trapped in this place with nothing to do. The reason for this, as odd as it sounds, is that we need work to feel human. While many always dream of having nothing to do, think that lying around all day is the ideal life, the fact of the matter is that work is an essential part of being human. In his encyclical On Human Work, John Paul II reminded us that work is a good thing for man, a good thing for his humanity, because through work, man not only transforms nature, adapting it to his own needs, but he also achieves fulfillment as a human being, and indeed, in a sense, becomes more a human being. We need to have a purpose. We need to feel like we're accomplishing something. When you go from working 8 or more hours a day to almost nothing, that's gonna have a jarring effect. While you can't just go back to work, please stay home. You do need to channel your energy into something productive. Obviously, I can't say what that needs to be for you, but I can say that your time in quarantine will be a lot better if you set a mission for yourself, a purpose to live by. For this time, I'm gonna focus on ongoing education in my field, a mini sabbatical. I'm gonna devote myself to keeping my kids happy and healthy. I'm gonna commit myself to a life of prayer. Whatever it is, I strongly recommend that you name it, even write it down, so that your purpose is clear. This is my new vocation for this time. In order to stay on task and accomplish anything though, you're gonna need number 2, which is to set a routine. As much as you can, I think it's important to create as much normalcy in your life as possible. Sleep in a bit more if you like, but get up at a regular time. Shower, shave, put on pants. Eat food at regular times. Set periods of your day for work, others for relaxation. Some have suggested even treating the days of the week differently, acting as if it were any other time. Monday through Friday, spend most of your day being productive, focusing on a task, while relax a bit more on Saturday and Sunday. Wait until after dinner to start watching television or playing games, just like you would do before. On a regular day, you wouldn't lie around with your pajamas on watching Netflix, so why do it now? The more you stick to a schedule, the busier you'll be, the more accomplished you'll feel, and the more rewarding the relaxation will become. Stick to a schedule, and you'll keep your sanity. Of course, this schedule is way more flexible than it normally would be, which is why my third point is that you need to fill it with a lot more prayer. We always complain that it's difficult to have a robust prayer life in the midst of the chaos of our lives. We do it when we can find time. Well, just like the rest of your day, I recommend setting a schedule. Don't leave it up to, oh, I'll pray sometime today. That never works. Unless you make it the most important task of your day, carving out a specific time for it, it doesn't matter how much free time you have, there will always be something else that gets in the way. One easy option to build this into the schedule of your day is to adopt the routine of the Liturgy of the Hours. Office of Readings, morning, midday, evening, night. Right there, you've got 5 mini blocks of time, never more than 15 minutes, to break up your day and bless it with prayer. If that's too regimented for you, then simply set a time each day, maybe 30 minutes, to sit in the quiet of your room with God. Close the door, turn off your phone, and allow yourself to have what Pope Francis invites us to, a renewed personal encounter with Jesus Christ, or at least an openness to letting Him encounter you. Of course, parishes around the world are beginning now to live stream their masses, and so I encourage you each Sunday, if not daily, to watch one of these broadcasts and to participate as much as you are able. Listen to the readings, pray the responses, enter the liturgy as if you were there. If you're looking for one to follow, go to withyourspirit.org, where a dedicated lay minister has compiled more than 80 options. Being that the human person is more than just a soul, though, I have to recommend my 4th point, that you take care of your body as well. Going to the gym is no longer an option for many of us, but that doesn't give you permission to sit on the couch and eat potato chips all day. Even in quarantine, you can stay healthy. My recommendation is to devote some time each day to exercise, even if very mild. If your city ordinance allows for it and you can stay 6 feet away from others, go for a long walk around your neighborhood. If you've got a driveway, do some agility drills and push-ups. You don't need weights to have a good workout. Use your own body weight, fill some empty milk jugs with water, use firewood, lift a small child, whatever you got. If you're stuck to a confined space and can't leave your building, move the coffee table out of the way and do some squats and push-ups, maybe a little power yoga. Heck, I'm sure that there are old videos of Jack LaLanne on YouTube. Do something.
2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4.
During this time, it's not about getting our bodies in shape for the beach or building muscle. It's about staying healthy. Getting your heart rate up, boosting those endorphins, even just briefly, will go a long way to prevent you from feeling cooped up and getting depressed. For me, anything that will make our world feel a bit larger than it is, a bit more connected to normal life, will serve us well. Which is why my 5th and final point may actually be the most important. Talk to someone on the outside every day. God created us to be social beings. We thrive on personal contact. Even us introverts, those who are probably doing much better with the quarantine than our poor extrovert brothers and sisters, bless their heart. Yes, even we need social contact on a regular basis. The more we stay away, the more time we spend alone, the more we will slowly slip out of our humanity. In today's world, though, there's just no excuse for this. Not only can we call each other on the phone, we can actually see each other in real time. In this last week, I've had a virtual happy hour with my family, a drop-in party with 15 friends, an intimate conversation with 2 others, and a meeting with the student leaders. I have a friend who's a doctor right now, saving the world 1,000 hours a week and is super busy, but we've been able to send each other audio recordings back and forth. Why it took a pandemic to get this started, I don't know. But I have never video chatted with any of my friends. I'll go 11 months without seeing them or not even pick up the phone. And yet this past week, I've gotten to see and talk to 2 people I haven't seen in well over a year. It was really awesome, actually. If you're watching this video, the technology is at your disposal. Send a message, make a call, set up a conference. God says from the very beginning that we were not meant to be alone, and we don't have to be. We may be physically isolated, but we don't have to be lonely. Gathered together in a physical building or not, we are still the church. I hope that these tips have been helpful for you. And in this time of isolation, be assured of my prayers for you. If you'd like to send specific requests, the best way is through Facebook, but you can also connect with me on Twitter, Instagram, and in the comments of this video. Peace and good to you, and happy quarantining.